Hi, my name's Kendra Stoner. I live in Tofino, BC on Vancouver Island, and this is my tiny house. So because we're on Vancouver Island, we get crazy winters, crazy storms, and I'm right on the inlet, which is such a blessing, but it's faced some challenges as well. So when the southeast winds come, it swooshes the wind and it goes up and then kind of has been sliding down the siding of my tiny house. So when it rains outside, it also is raining inside. So I've got the tarps up till my builder, who's promised to come and fix it, will come and replace the blue parts of the tiny house. I've got this epic spot and I've never had a garden, but now I've got a garden. Got blackberries over here. We've got stinging nettle that I can make like pestos and stuff with. This is my garlic that's already thriving. Got a fire pit. I love hosting. We have so many friends that come. Hugest blessing is to have this extra storage. I've got a heater and a dehumidifier in here too, so it's an absolute disaster right now, but it just stores stuff that I don't necessarily need in the tiny house. I've got a deep freeze, I've got my paddle boards, my climbing gear, my snowboard winter stuff. I designed this tiny house for this spot, so I've got really big windows and a window facing the ocean that's tarped up right now, but it doesn't have a screen, so it's just glass, and when I work from home and I work from my desk, it's just the most beautiful view. So I've got these stairs that also have storage underneath. I don't know if I could have survived without this, to be honest. It's huge. It's got all my plates and dishes, my shoes, little fun storage things, and then all my clothes. So without this extra storage, I don't know how people can just deal with ladders. I don't know where they're putting their things. It blows my mind. 8.5 feet is as wide as it is, and then it's 26 feet long. So the 8.5 feet wide, I could have gone to 9.5 feet, but in order to move it, I would need a secondary vehicle in the front saying wide load. So to cut that off, 8.5 was as wide as it could go. So my office right now is just my TV. Typically this is where I'm working. I've got a really sweet chair that I got from IKEA that I just pull up and then I whip out my laptop and then I'm here, and typically I've got this gorgeous view. When I don't have the TV up or anything, I can pull this down and it just goes straight down along the wall. So when I have guests that come over, I'll put it down and I can pull out the pull-out couch, or I can just have a bigger space to host. It 'tis the season of seeding things, so I've got just kind of seed things happening. I've got some cilantro and basil trying their best. So I've got a baseboard heater that runs off my electricity hookup, and they just kind of like bring heat up to the plants, so they're actually really happy and they smell super good, and just nurturing and loving them. So this is my secondary loft. It's just used for storage right now. I think if I were to have a bunch of friends come for a visit, I could throw down some sleeping mats along with my pull-out couch and stuff, but for right now I just have strictly storage, my art supplies, some bathroom stuff, the guest bedding. Obviously it's a little so I've got 2 more pieces that are going to be coming to be down here, but I mean, I climb rocks a lot, so it's been kind of fun being able to zip, 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 but I wouldn't want Grandpa going up there, you know. This is my kitchen. It's such a great space. I really wanted to have double sink. I know a lot of tiny houses just have the one to not sacrifice counter space, but for me to have the drying dishes and the cleaning dishes, it was such a good feature for me, and I was really adamant on having like black features. I wanted white walls, which it's been a challenge to keep clean, but I just really like the open feel and being able to feel like it's, yeah, just right. So I wanted black features to kind of accent that like more masculine and feminine balance. And then I've got a really awesome stove that runs on gas. I've never had like a gas burning stove. The saying is, oh, we're cooking with gas. Like I was like, oh, okay, cool, whatever. Now that I'm cooking with gas, oh my God, it's game changer. It's like boiling water in like 30 seconds, which is so big. I did not have that in the trailer or in the van, of course. But yeah, so my wheel well actually is right under here. So they did a really beautiful like accent and stuff, but it makes this super high. So I'm glad that I'm tall, but like last night I made myself some mushroom risotto and I had to bring my little stool and come and kind of hike myself up here to keep stirring like crazy. So that was fun. This is kind of a pantry situation. Oh, it's such a mess. But I really wanted to be able to have like pull out drawers here to just like have open and have my spices right here and just feel like it's kind of pantry-ish. And then a couple drawers down here that have whatever, all the kitchen things you need and all my baking stuff. These are just the pots and pans and junk drawers slash utensils, garbage can, some laundry detergent, a kettle. I have a full-size fridge and I've never had one before and it's the best thing in the world. It obviously occupies a lot of space, as you can tell, but I have a full freezer. Are you kidding me? When I lived in the van, I had a little flippy-uppy fridge that could be a freezer if you like really cranked it and used all your battery juice. But it was like this freaking big and yeah, sorry about the excitement, but I mean, there's probably nothing exciting in there. But you know, it's full, it's mine, it's massive. It's bigger than like condo fridges and stuff, and I love food, so it keeps it cold. In the van, if you'd like run out of battery juice, it would like make all your food go bad. So like you'd always be like grocery shopping every single day. Whereas I can go for a grocery shop and this stuff lasts like weeks and it's like, oh, wow. We're going to the bathroom, by the way. But my compostable toilet actually needs like a electricity hookup. So there's a fan that is plugged in over here and a vent that goes outside. So it actually needs to be plugged into something and you can hear like a fan going and it I guess just circulates and makes sure that the big part where your solids go, it just keeps it ventilated, I guess. And I didn't realize going into that. I thought, oh, compostable toilet, off grid, don't need to do any maintenance. You just empty it and call her a day. But it's actually got some system to it, which is pretty cool. So this is my bathroom. It's probably like the best part of the tiny house in my opinion. It's got gorgeous countertop and sink and drawers of things and my toilet. Before, when I was living in the trailer in this spot, I actually had to go over to the motel that I'm living behind to shower and to use the bathroom and stuff. And it was like in the middle of winter, I'm putting on boots and trucking over there and it's not cute. So I'm so stoked to be able to have like a freaking bath and somewhere I can do my business. It's just such a treat and it's such a fun kind of alternative way of like dealing with your business. So basically the way that it works is like your liquids go in the front in this bucket and then your solids go to the back, and you've got like I've got a cocoa substract in the back. It's kind of like a really fine, nice soil, and you kind of fill it to a certain level and then you do your business and you crank the side thing. And this is my bath. I really wanted to have a bath. I think baths are so important to me and my self-care routine. And when I feel sad, hi little buggy. When I feel sad, I want to just like get in some bubbles and just take some time for myself. So it was really important to me to have a space like this because I was getting a bathroom where I could bathe myself and do my business. I really wanted to create a space where it was something that would work for me and go full out. So I've got an on-demand hot water system out back that is able to fill the whole tub. I got this little, I think it's called a niche, just a little imp thing. It was kind of a surprise. My builder did a lot of really incredible nice to haves that I didn't even really design into it, and without it, it would have been, where's my shampoo gonna go? Where's, it's so little things like that was just added in here, and it really made the space extra special. So I was super grateful for Rolling Bear Tiny Homes to work with me and know that I do like this more luxurious lifestyle, but in a tiny space. So it was awesome to work with him on that. I've got a barn door. Ta-da! Watch your head if you come up here. I've got this truss here that I might need to do a bit of work on. But yeah, I just tell everybody, watch yourself. But yeah, I honestly only am ever using this space as my sleeping time. Originally, I just wanted like a tiny little metal bar right here, but my mom and dad actually purchased me this beautiful custom built metal piece that has been installed, and it just completely makes the tiny house what it is. I'm super grateful for it. I really didn't like the idea of just having a mattress on the floor. I don't know why, but I just felt like it wasn't, I need to get over myself sometimes. So I asked if I could have like something built so the bed could just sit on it. So I got this beautiful piece done. Looking back, it can't be moved. So I couldn't like move my bed side to side if I wanted to, which is not the best, but I'm sure this spot's where I want it to be. Gets so hot up here, and it makes sense. Heat rises, I get that, but I didn't really like understand how hot it actually gets here until I'm up here and I'm trying to sleep. And we had a nice day like today, and like tonight I'll have the windows completely wide open and probably laying on top of my duvet. Like it gets very toasty up here. I've got my blackout blinds, which are sweet because they really black out the space. I like dark when I'm sleeping. And then when I wake up in the morning, I'll just lift this and I'll listen to sea lions and I'll look at my pretty view and I'll just be like, okay, I'm gonna start my day now. So that's Mears Island across the inlet from us, and there's a lot of history behind that island. There's a lot of protection that has gone on. There's a lot of protests for saving old growth and conserving the land and making sure that it doesn't get logged. A little fun fact, this was the little Euro van that I used to have in 1994, Westphalia Euro van, imported from Japan with an extended high top. You can probably check out the video in the link below of when you and I did a Vanlife tour in that. So that was, I guess, 4 years ago when I got it. 5 years ago? Gosh, time flies. I spent a lot of time living in that. Super fun. Love being on the road. A lot of complications with van life, but you have the community there that has your back all the time, which was so much fun. So I sold it, and then I had a chunk of change that I was able to purchase this that had the 16-foot tiny little Jayco trailer that I lived in for like a year, I think. And then I was able to start this build. So from humble beginnings to this gorgeous tiny house named Petrie, I'm stoked to be here. Being able to live in a small space really allows me to be bigger outside. Like I want to be able to, I've always said like spreading pixie dust, and like I want to show up for my community and my friends and my family as much as I possibly can. And to be in a smaller space, yes, it's a little challenging to stay clean and stuff, but I'm not constantly worrying about this. I can just close the door and I can go. Bought the trailer. I bought it to be in Tofino in this gorgeous spot, but trailers aren't meant to be lived in. And in Tofino, if you live in a trailer by yourself, you've got it so lucky. There's so many staff accommodations and people living, 12 people in a house, and it's just outrageous out here. We're in such a housing crisis, but we all still choose to live in these alternative living spaces because we get to be in Tofino. We get to be on Vancouver Island in the most beautiful place in the world. So we think that living in these places that are moldy and wet and not comfortable, I would like wake up with like rashes and stuff. Like it's not a space that's supposed to be lived in, and yet we choose not to complain about it, because if we complain about it, then Tofino's probably going to chew you up and spit you out. But in reality, like, safety is important. And I remember my parents came for a visit and they were like, wow, like, you live in this, and I've got my bed propped up because the rain's hitting my trailer and it's leaking, and and I felt very lucky to live in that. The trailer was a great stepping stone to this. And this is also another stepping stone to something else. And just this forward momentum is something I'm always trying to achieve, and I'm always trying to just set myself up for success and future and planning and but also still staying present. And I think the tiny house is a really unique opportunity to still be grounded and present, have a garden, get my feet and my hands dirty and get this place full of sand and full of wetsuits and still feel like I'm setting myself up for future Kendra success. Benefits would be definitely just being small, having this more affordable option to be able to do the activities and have the lifestyle that you want. If I had got a mortgage and bought a big house that like I don't have time to dust and clean, and having 2 bathrooms, why would I need that, you know? If you do want to take the plunge and you do want to get the mortgage and purchase a big house, you're sacrificing a lot of. I remember growing up, my dad always said, you should always try and not have to say no to going to the bar with your boys and still be able to afford a pitcher with your friends. I think if I had purchased a big house, I wouldn't have been able to go out with my friends, and you're sacrificing a lot. It's just me, and this space is huge for me, and but it's also still really small, and I can pick up and go, and that's another benefit. I'm not good at staying still, and as much as I feel like I'm getting grounded and rooted in this space, in this community, it's really important for me to be able to, if I have an opportunity, I don't want to be like, well, I'm stuck here. Challenges of the lifestyle, bylaws and all that fun stuff, they don't necessarily deem this as okay. And there's a bit of like confusion around like home insurance and versus trailer RV insurance. Bylaws could come and need to kick me out and stuff, and that's a really scary kind of feeling. And for me, I've always lived with what's meant to be will be, and it's what happens is on your course. It's all laying yourself out the way it's supposed to, and if that were to happen, it would suck and it would be a crazy shift in my world. It would flip upside down. But at the end of the day, like, we are built to adapt, and that is kind of the mindset I had going into starting this build. Was although this is a more grounded, rooted situation, I still need to be comfortable with the discomfort of this kind of living. As much as it's more affordable and a different alternative living situation, they are still expensive. So I'm over 100,000 was this build. My trailer itself was 40,000. So it's still very similar to building a house in the sense that you're still purchasing the same things, just less of them. Advice I would have is definitely get into one. Definitely ask the questions. Watch the YouTube videos. They're so helpful. You just kind of understand complications that people run into that you wouldn't necessarily think about. If you're building your own, good luck. It's incredible. I couldn't do it. I think it's amazing when people are like, I'm just going to start this project and build a tiny house. I'm like, okay, have fun. But definitely ask the questions, you know, what do you do for a toilet? Ask the tough ones. Do you, like for me, it was sacrificing room in the bathroom or room up top, and should I build it to the right regulations and codes, you know? Be realistic in what you need and really understand your values. So it's understanding that this is such a beautiful way of living, but also integrate the things that are important to you. If having a bath is important to you, get a bath. You know, have your top 5, no ifs, ands, or buts, and implement them the best you can in this space. Like attracts like. What you put out there, you will get back. And I am a firm believer in manifestation, and when you manifest the things that are important to you, and you're talking about it, and you're visualizing, and you're writing about it, and you're reading, and you're doing research on tiny houses, then you're putting that out into the universe, and the universe is going to speak back. If you try your best every day, and you are a good person, and you choose kindness over yourself, I think that's when the universe speaks back, and that's when you'll get the abundance and however that looks like for you, and the spiritual law of attraction. Like attracts like. What you put out there, you will receive, and I'm a firm believer in that. As well as living in the moment, and as well as choosing kindness all the time, and understanding and always knowing that everybody, no matter what, is doing their best. And that best might not look like your best, or that might not look like this idea of what the best is to you, but they are still doing their best. And when we hold everybody's hearts a little softer, that's when we can just be better humans. I've got Instagram, I've got Tiny House Petrie, and I've got my Kendra Stoner Instagram accounts, but I kind of wanted to kind of direct people somewhere bigger than me. You know, I think the tiny house movement is such a unique opportunity, and there's so much out there and so many resources, and I know there's Facebook groups that people can just learn and connect and ask questions. And I think any kind of tiny house movement Facebook group, or I think there's a few out there. As much as I'm trying my best on my platform to be transparent, and I am posting videos of emptying my composting toilet and silly things like that, I am here doing my best, but it's not answering all the questions that a lot of tiny house people that are interested in have. And as much as I would love to have answers to everything, because I think that I'm a smart individual, I don't know everything, and I know very little. So to have a bigger community on a Facebook group or somewhere like that, I think is more effective. And yeah, go find your local Facebook group and sign all the petitions to get tiny house movement more engaged, because it's such a beautiful alternative living, and I think it's important to try and get behind it more.
If you would like to be featured on different media, there's a form you can fill out to be on the podcast or to have your van toured. And if you're interested in watching more alternative dwelling tours like this, we upload every single Sunday. So hit subscribe, and new van life and chill podcasts every Thursday. Thanks everyone for watching.